Forward. Caregiving is a gift that you give away. It can be both very rewarding and difficult, and is not for the fragile or faint of heart. One thing is for certain, it is one of the most important things that you could ever do with your life. You are filling a vital and extremely important role that family is either unable or unwilling to do. I believe God gives special rewards to people who lovingly take care of others who are not able to care for themselves. It is definitely not for everyone and requires a caring heart, extreme patience, observation, attention to detail, a calm demeanor, confidence, a can-do spirit, intelligence, communication skills, and both emotional and physical endurance. Whether you're pursuing caregiving as a career or you ended up being a caregiver by default, like my husband, you want to give the best care possible. It is my hope that this book will be a help to you. Being a caregiver starts with your heart. If you do not have the right heart, it will be apparent to everyone you care for. So please find a different occupation. If you have found yourself in need of care, please don't learn the hard way like I did. I pray this book puts a fire under your butt to take control of your life and don't take any crap. No matter what has brought you to this point in your life, God has not forgotten about you. He has a plan for you and will redeem the years you have lost. The best is yet to come if you stay in faith. At the time I am writing this book, 2017, I have had almost 8 years of full-time care. ALS symptoms began summer 2005, and have had nearly 350 caregivers. I currently manage a team of 6 to 8 girls, and I live in Loveland, Colorado. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to keep regular income from the sale of this book. If you would like to make a donation for my uncovered expenses, please send a check payable to Colorado Fund for People with Disabilities for benefit of Elizabeth Smith, 1355 South Colorado Boulevard, Suite 920, Denver, Colorado 80222. Every gift is greatly appreciated. Chapter 1. The Role of a Caregiver. I believe the role of a caregiver is to love, to increase abilities and independence, and to advocate. Love. If there is not a personal relationship between two people who are working intimately together, it's a real drag. I imagine that is the way God feels when we tune him out. I have come a long way since my first caregiver, and I would like to think I have become easier to care for. I didn't say easy, I said easier. The most important thing I've learned about working this closely with someone is that you need to give each other the benefit of the doubt and not take offense. As my care has evolved, we have bigger fish to fry than to worry about if you are mad at me or if I'm mad at you. It's time to put your big girl panties on and keep them on. It's a mature, godly type of love that forgives easily and quickly. It's a love that is patient and kind. I am grateful for the people who help me and thank God for them constantly, but none of us are Jesus. You know that old song, Love the One You're With? That just might be about caregivers, because if they didn't show up, you'd be out of luck. Increase abilities and independence. It's critical that as a caregiver, you do not take away options just because it's easier for you. You need to let people make their own decisions if they are able. When a caregiver picks my socks for me and doesn't let me pick them, I make them put them back in the drawer and let me choose. Even if the socks happen to be the ones I was going to pick, back in the drawer they go. Sorry, but I'm a grown woman and you will not be making any of my decisions for me, thank you very much. I'm always amazed when caregivers attempt to make decisions and speak for me. I can promise you one thing, they will never succeed. Just because I'm currently unable to get things myself doesn't mean I'm brain dead. It's not about the socks, it's the principle. If I let you choose my socks, what's next? Your role is to increase my independence, not decrease it. If you are being cared for, do not let people make decisions for you, no matter who they are. Don't give away the power you still have. Increasing abilities can be mental or physical. It will be tempting to do things for the person you're caring for that they can do themselves, just for the sake of time. Please allow them to do as much as possible. My legs are very strong, and there's a reason why. I get a kick out of new caregivers who think that I'm paralyzed or something because I'm far from it. Yes, it would be easier and faster for me to let caregivers move me around. But if they did, I don't know how much longer they would have a job, if you get my drift. Not letting someone do something they are able and desire to do crushes the spirit. Let's talk about facilities for a minute. I was a hospice volunteer after my diagnosis, and I saw people who were perfectly capable of walking left in wheelchairs and never allowed the opportunity to walk. This is terribly sad to me. Also, there is a trend to use machines, sit to stand, and Hoyers instead of having a person move their own body. There is definitely some benefit for those who cannot transfer any other way. However, people who are able to transfer with some assistance are often moved with these machines. It may save manpower, but I believe it's at the expense of the health of residents. Advocacy. Advocacy is necessary if you have someone who's being seen by anyone from the medical community, whether it's in the home or in a medical setting. Doctors and medical staff make mistakes like anyone else. Do not be afraid to question what they are doing, and don't assume they are the experts. They might be the experts on some things, but you are the expert on the person you care for and know what is normal for that person. It's your job to protect them and stand up for their rights. See Chapter 9, Beware of Hospitals and Facilities, to learn about patient rights. If you are hospitalized, you have the right to refuse absolutely anything you want, even if you can't speak for yourself. If you are unable to speak for yourself, you have the right to have someone who can speak for you by your side at all times, even during procedures and surgery. I have had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. The last time I was hospitalized, I got wise and refused. I refused to wear that ridiculous gown, to be checked for bed sores, to be wiped down with chemicals, to take my shirt off for the EKG, to take the meds they automatically give to everyone just because you're in a hospital, to be rushed, and a whole host of other things. My caregivers had to enforce my wishes, and I couldn't have done it without them. It's nice to know your rights and to stop getting bullied by a system that is extremely broken. More than once, we have had hospital administrators come into my room like the mafia to tell us that my caregivers cannot care for me legally during my stay because they don't want to be liable. I kindly informed them through my computer and with the help of caregivers that they would be liable if my caregivers weren't with me. They would need to have a dedicated team of nurses by my side 24 hours a day because I am not able to push the call button, and these nurses would have to be trained by my staff first. Also, they would be liable because I cannot wait for them to hunt down a respiratory therapist to perform tracheal suctioning as needed. They know I'm right and are usually pretty quiet after that. I would not be alive if my caregivers had not advocated for me in the hospital. 2 instances come to my mind. The first is when this Nazi-like nurse, who was out of her mind, told us we could only suction once every 4 hours. She told us to stop suctioning immediately. My caregiver told her that I sign her check and kept suctioning. The second instance was when a doctor told us to stop suctioning so he could finish what he was saying and leave because he had a full schedule. Hey, no problem, Dr. Shivago. I can breathe after you're gone. My caregiver didn't miss a beat and kept suctioning. It was perfect. This doctor also said, I heard you have a male caregiver, so you're going to have to do a pregnancy test. Guess what? I refused. What a creep. If possible, you must be your own advocate and sign your own documents, even if you need assistance signing. People always ask who is my power of attorney. Why would I need one unless I was incapacitated? I actually tried having my dad be my power of attorney because I was bedbound. Even as my power of attorney, he couldn't accomplish anything without my verbal or written consent. It was easier to get things done myself by using my computer to speak on the phone. Notaries are usually fine with my signature assisted by a caregiver. Am I missing something here? Shouldn't I be the person in charge of my care? Even if I wanted someone else to be in charge, there is nobody else to take this full-time job. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Proverbs 31:8-9.